Welcome back to Let's Have It Out. As I said, I'm Brenda Madumise-Pajibe. Tonight, a different newsmaker will be hosting this program, giving you an unfiltered, accountable and accessible opportunity to interact with all of us. My guest tonight is Police Minister Bheki Cele from the Cape Town studio. We have a caller from Bongi in Zeras, but before Bongi, the Minister, can you respond to what Thomas said earlier on?
Yes, Brenda, there is one thing that we can't miss. Is a point that I want to repeat. Also, there is that element in the contribution that was made by your last caller, that the matter should be a societal matter. The matter cannot just be monopolized. Yes, we're at the cutting edge of the things, but the community, the society, must also push us and be with us going forward. There are two things. Yeah. The police that are doing the work need to be supported and need to be rewarded and talk with them and praise them. Mm-hmm. But we need to be hard to those that are not doing their work, very hard on them, and make them realize that their job is to protect South Africans, especially the vulnerable, yeah. Women, the young people and the elderly. And those are the people that police must really work hard to protect and make sure that they take matter forward. So yeah. We're quite encouraged by the members of the community that are looking after us and telling us what do they think is the correct direction.
Do you think one of the reasons why some of the policemen and women might not be fully present when they deal with gender-based violence cases is that they themselves are victims of violence at home? They have experienced it, and they have a difficulty in dealing with it when they are confronted with it in their official capacity. Have you had cases of that nature where the policemen and women themselves are victims of violence and they find it difficult, and then they make it difficult for residents and citizens to report their cases?
I think it will be several matters, Brenda. One, it would be the members of the South African police who do not take the matter very serious, who have not really assimilated the understanding that this is one of the serious scourge that South Africa must deal with. That would be just their understanding, and they take matter lightly. Secondly, it could be the fact that maybe their training does not help them much to deal with it. It's not their specialty. It's a basic training that does not help them to take the matter serious and in a skilled way, like the specialized unit that I've said they're existing. That it could be just an ordinary corruption. Okay. That they corrupt, then they don't take their work seriously, and so what kind of attitude?
We have Bongi from Zeras. Good evening, Bongi.
Hello, Mama Ninjani.
Oh, Sikona, Mama.
Good evening to the Minister. Minister, I am a concerned community member in Zeras. We are faced with very serious challenges. Number one is drugs. Two is crime, it's breaking into our houses. Three is stock theft. So as a community member, actually community members, we decided to take an action, making sure that we do raids at night, which is not safe for us. And remember, when we speak of drugs, we're speaking about our kids. Our kids are involved in drugs. They take drugs. They sell drugs. And when you look at the situation, you find that the police are not doing anything about it. So we're requesting to you, come to Zeras, come and help us, come and assist us as a community before the situation gets out of hand.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Bongi, we hear you, and I think, Minister, to tie this to the drugs, because sometimes, gender-based violence happens in, yes, because it happens in a very environment that is not good. And what she's touching on is the use of drugs and crime that is pervasive in the different communities. And as she talks about crime in her respective community, she's feeling that they have had to take the law into their own hands by forming patrol groups to make sure that they are safe. I mean, is this the state where we want to be as a country, as a nation, that we have to have, all of us have to have private security to protect us, Minister?
Well, it's not necessarily true that communities who form the organization around their communities to patrol, they're taking the law in their hands. There are quite many organizations we work with, Brenda, your CPF, your Neighborhood Watch and all that, who work very well with the police, who hands over the criminals, who hands over the information, which is quite allowed and is legally allowed to happen in South Africa. But yes, we do have communities maybe that get really fed up. There are two things that would make communities get fed up. Is when the police are literally ignoring the information they have about the drug lords and not arresting them. Secondly, is when those drug lords and those people that deal with drugs are arrested but easily get bail, and communities, they need to face them time and again. So, but we do encourage communities to come together to work with the law enforcement agencies so that they can hand over those people and those people are processed properly. So, but allow me to make a comment on the drug issue.
Yeah.
You say sometimes, most of the time, the abuse, the drugs is a center of abuse, especially young children and young women. Though nobody that takes drugs really will be kind, will take care of young kids and women around himself. Those people are the center of abuse, at the center of rape, at the center of every ill and ugly things. So that's why drugs is one thing that should be fought with all energy we have as a South African police law enforcement, but generally the community, to reverse the scourge of drugs in the Republic of South Africa.
Thank you for that, Minister. We're still coming back. You can be part of this conversation. Please join me and be part of the conversation with Police Minister Bheki Cele. We're going on to an ad break. We will see you in the next few seconds. Let's have it out.